Good morning, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Breakfast may be the most important meal of the day, and dinner is made for dining, but lunch is often just an afterthought. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. I've got lunch recipes that will add taste in your haste right now on SoFlo Taste. Hurry! How fun is that? Welcome all to SoFlo Taste. I am Chef Michelle Bernstein, and welcome to the Goya Kitchen here at J World in Coconut Creek. Do you take your lunch to work? In this pandemic, do you actually go to work? No matter, most of us are happy to grab a bite on the run. So today I thought it would be fun to give you some recipes for good food that can keep you moving in the middle of your day, because I never have time to do that. So let's get cooking. I love a good chicken parm, but my husband goes crazy for one. So this is dedicated to you, David. I know that you're gonna love this. So this is boneless, skinless chicken breast from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. We love the boys and girls over at Delaware. Y'all are the best. My friends over there want me to tell you that since February is Heart Month, they can help you cook heart healthy with their chicken, turkey, seafood, and so much more. They are at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, and you can't miss it. After all, it's got a big chicken on the roof. Visit them at DelawareChicken.com. You can always call them at 954-983-6831. Just place an order with them. They are the best. Tell them that I sent you, and they might be even more generous than they already are. Okay, chicken breast. You either can butterfly them or be like us and just pound them a little bit between two pieces of parchment. As you can see, they're not very thin. This is at least a 1/4 inch thick, and that's how you want your parm to be. These are just dusted in a little bit of flour egg wash, which just means eggs that have been whisked up, and breadcrumbs. You can use Italian breadcrumbs if you'd rather, but I went ahead and just used plain breadcrumbs. I also have here a little tomato sauce warming up a little bit. So all we're gonna do is shallow fry. And we actually call these milanesas in Argentina. So I'm just gonna shallow fry the milanesas, or the Milanese, in a little bit of oil. I'm using a blended oil here. This is a mixture of olive oil and canola oil to give it just a little bit of the flavor of the olive oil. So always have a paper towel ready on a little cookie sheet, or even just a paper towel on your cutting board for when the chicken, the breaded chicken or veal is done. You could just put it on something to damp off a little bit of that excess oil. So on the top of that veal or chicken, I'm gonna put a little bit of grated Parmesan. The one thing I never understood about the veal parm, it's really more mozzarella than anything. So why don't they call it a veal mozzarella? Maybe it just doesn't sound as good, I don't know. So for this chicken parm, I'm using a fresh mozzarella. It smells so good. And what I like to do is I just like to rip it into pieces. I just think it's more natural that way rather than cutting it. And we're gonna actually top the chicken with just some nice pieces of Parmesan. For the bread, which is probably the second most important piece of business in a chicken or veal parm, if you can find a good Italian hoagie or baguette, I say do that. But as we all know, things are getting harder and harder to find. And so what we did is we just got a larger French baguette, which I have here, which we just got at our favorite supermarket. So that's what this is. It's got a nice crusty outside. It has the tender inside. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna warm it up in the oven when I put my chicken in the oven to melt the mozzarella. So these are really quick to cook. Try not to overcook them. You really want them to turn nice and golden. So this is on about a medium to medium high heat. You don't want the color to come too quickly. You want them to cook as they caramelize the breadcrumbs. So by the time both sides turn a nice golden brown under medium heat, your chicken on the inside is going to be fully cooked. Just remember, you really want to season these once they come out of the oil, because if not, you can never go back and season them afterwards. You also want to make sure your tomato sauce is well seasoned, because once this is ready, this is going to be really fast, and there's really not much more you can do after they're already cooked and topped with everything else. All right, so this one is ready. As you can see, it has a beautiful color on it. All right, my second piece is done as well. So like I said, once they're nice and hot, you want to go ahead and season. I'm actually going to use some bigger sea salt on mine, but if you just have some kosher salt, that's perfectly fine. I'm actually going to add a little bit of black pepper, which I normally don't do on Mayonnaise just because it doesn't look as nice. This is my trick to making really good parm. So if you have a rack at home, which you all should at this point if you're watching the show a lot, use the rack right now because this will keep your chicken nice and crisp, but melt the top and give it the flavor. So we're going to put our chicken on the rack, like so. I'm just going to make one because I only have the one bread. Take your tomato sauce and spoon it right over the top. Like so. And by the way, we put a little piece of paper, parchment paper, underneath the rack so that we don't get too dirty. Then I'm going to add the Parmesan and the pieces of mozzarella right over the top. What this is going to do, and I'm just going to reiterate because I think it's really important, when you put it on a rack, you're allowing all of the airflow to go underneath your chicken, which keeps it really nice and crisp while you're melting all of that goodness on the top. Make sense? Okay, so let's go ahead and put it in the oven. Okay, this will take all but 2 minutes to get ready, so more after the break. Make sure you come right back to see how this beautiful parm is going to come out. But of course we have so much more, so much more. SoFlo Taste will return right after this.
Now back to the Goya Kitchen at J.A. World and SoFlo Taste. Here's Chef Michelle Bernstein.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. Have I got you hungry for lunch yet? By the way, I'm here at J.A. World in Coconut Creek, a great place for our kids and their education. For more information, go to jasouthflorida.org or call 954-979-7100. They always make us welcome. Now back to lunch. All right, everyone, let's check on our chicken parm. Woohoo! All right, this looks delicious. Ah, gorgeous. Beautifully melted. Now I'm going to, oh yeah, see it stayed beautifully crisp. That's all I wanted. We're going to put that on our baguette. So what I was thinking was, you could have this breaded chicken done, cooked, in your fridge, already done. And all you have to do is pop some sauce and some mozzarella right on top of it, and you have lunch in like a minute and a half. So honestly, it stays beautifully crisp when you put it on a rack after you have it in your fridge. And so these are the little tricks that I just go crazy over and make for such good quick lunch. All right, I'm gonna put 2 skewers in the bread. It's gonna be a little messy but delicious. David, honey, this one's for you. Yum. Now that's lunch. All right. While everyone sits salivating over that one, let's go ahead and jump into my next dish. We love Reubens, right? We love Reubens, we love corned beef. So I decided to come up with something to make a Reuben a little bit healthier. So I started to play with beets. Beets are delicious, but what I do love about them is that they're kind of porous. They take on the flavor of pretty much anything you give. And so why not make a beet taste like corned beef? And please don't roll your eyes at me. I promise you this is so delicious. So we've roasted a couple beets, right? You slice them about a little less than a 1/4 inch thick. And then you give them all the spices that go into a Reuben, actually making a Reuben, the meat. And what you get are these gorgeous slices of beets that have it even smells like a Reuben in the bag. It's so crazy. So if you leave them in the bag for like 24 hours, what you have here are all the flavors of Reuben. So we've got coriander, allspice, cinnamon, salt, and mustard seed. And those are all of the flavors and the cure of the actual corned beef. And so all of that goes into this salty saline solution. And instead of doing something that salty, I just basically took all that, combined it onto the beets, added a little bit of oil, and let that sit in a bag. And what it does is it really tastes like corned beef. It's crazy. And if you cut it like this 1/4 inch thick, you actually have a little bit of chewiness to it. So let's go ahead and make a Reuben out of this. So we get some good rye bread. And we need a little bit of dressing for it, of course. So traditionally it goes with Thousand Island. So what we have in here is some mayonnaise. We're gonna add a little bit of salsa inglesa or Worcestershire. We've got some cut up pickles. I grew up on Thousand Island, I love this stuff. A little bit of ketchup. Some tiny diced onions, about the size of the pickle. A little yellow mustard. You can use Dijon if you hate yellow mustard. And just mix that up. And you've got yourself a really delicious Thousand Island. All right, so we're gonna spoon a little bit of that onto our bread. And again, you can make this rather quickly. If you have the Thousand Island done, of course you can buy Thousand Island, right? And then of course you can marinate your beets, and that can stay in the marinade all week long. It's just delicious. So all you have to do is really put all this together. It's rather quick. Swiss cheese. Where would we be without the melting cheese on a Reuben, of course? We've got our beets layered up as if there were slices of corned beef. We actually serve this at our place, Sweet Liberty, out in South Beach. If you want to taste it, to see if you like it, I just started serving the beet Reuben on our menu, and people are going crazy over it. Now let's go ahead and griddle this up. So I'm going to throw a little bit of butter, just like a ½ tablespoon of butter, in a cast iron pan. I'm going to go ahead and close this beautiful sandwich up. So I'm going to sit here cooking this. You can also do it in the oven if you'd rather. And let's go ahead and get this nice and toasty. I'm not going to put it in the oven. It's all going to cook right here on the stove. So come right back for more recipes. But before I go, all my recipes are always available on the SoFlo Show's webpage. Just scan this quick response code. It'll take you directly to the new SoFlo Shows page. You'll also see the QRC on our ingredient list throughout the show. Come right back. I've got so much more, and this is going to be delicious. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and our Lunch on the Run show. So this beet Reuben is everything you ever dreamt of and didn't even know about it. So we've got the beets that taste like corned beef, and then of course the other traditional flavors, and it's so good. And you can make everything ahead of time except for stacking up, of course, the sandwich, and then griddle it or throw it in the oven, and you've got yourself quite the treat. It's really, this one's a good one. All right, so moving on. I love salad and I love chicken salad, so why not make a salad on a salad? So I'm going to show you my recipe for one of my favorite chicken salads. It's quite simple. So you take a good either roast chicken, rotisserie chicken, and you take all the skin off and you start pulling the meat and remove all the bones. The best part about this is you don't have to roast your own chicken to make a great chicken salad. You can buy a really good roast chicken. So I love the white and the dark meat mixed for a really great chicken salad. Celery, I feel like it might be one of the most important ingredients here. Celery keeps things really nice and fresh, and you see how nice and tiny we dice it. It's just the best. So put that on your chicken. Then go ahead with a little bit of raw onion, a lot less onion than celery. Herbs, I love a little bit of dill. Tarragon. Tarragon and chicken are just such a beautiful marriage. They're really so good together. So I love a nice amount of tarragon in the salad. So go ahead and mix that up. So here is where some people riff a little bit. So I love mayonnaise-based chicken salads. So I'm gonna add one of my favorite mayonnaises to this. This is a Japanese mayonnaise, and it's ridiculously yummy. In that mayonnaise, I'm gonna add a little bit of Dijon mustard. Mix that up a little bit. A little squeeze of lemon, because Amanda told me to do so, because she loves lemon in her chicken salad. And then finally, a little bit of crunchy salt. Let's go ahead and mix all that together. See how that comes out. I like the chicken to be a little bigger like this. There's a lot of chicken salads out there where they chop the chicken so incredibly fine, you really don't even know what you're eating. And I love the chicken like this. So I think we have just the right amount of mayo to chicken in here. This is a little creamy, but not like too creamy. All right. There we have it. So let's go ahead and jump into the salad part of this. So I've decided to add some of my favorite things together for this salad. I've got a little Kirby cucumber, which I'm going to keep the peel on because these are so beautifully crunchy. We've got avocado, which I'm not going to cut too small. I'm just going to cut it in half and then slice it up a little bit. We've got a radish, which we'll slice. And this salad not only should be crisp and fresh and delicious, but it should have contrasting colors to your chicken salad just to make it more inviting. Now, the chicken salad can be made ahead of time. I would eat it up to about 4 days. I wouldn't give it much longer than that. So the chicken salad can be made 4 days. Now, what's great about salads, like the one I'm making now, is that everything except for the avocado can be cut and wrapped in like a damp paper towel and put into little baggies into your fridge for up to 3 days. So you can always have salad things ready to go, and you can just mix them into your favorite vinaigrettes. And then finally, for the lettuce, there's a lot of different lettuces you can choose, but we went ahead and got some beautiful soft Bibb lettuce. I think this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous lettuce for this kind of salad. And it makes like the perfect cup, so you can put little bits of that chicken salad inside of that. So this is actually how I make vinaigrette at home. I don't like measure things or anything. I take oil and vinegar, and what I do is about a 3-to-1, and I put it on the bowl that I'm going to mix my salad in. So oil first, a little bit of vinegar, and a tiny bit of lemon. And then I add salt and finally pepper. So here I already have the vinaigrette waiting on the bottom of a bowl for my beautiful salad to mix into it. I forgot to show you I have some crunchy almonds and some fresh dill to bring out the freshness. So when you come right back, let's go ahead and build this salad together and see how beautiful we can make it. I bet you can help. Come right back.
SoFlo Home Project is next. Now, back to the food.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and our lunch special. So pretend we've taken all of our beautiful vegetables out of our bags. We plated it up. Now, a little tip, when you're making a beautiful salad and mixing it with vinaigrette, don't just stack everything on top of each other to make something tall. Give it a little air. Spread out your lettuces as I have. Let your vegetables come all the way around. Give something crunchy on your salad, like a candied almond like this, or you can always do seeds like a sunflower seed. It's delicious. And then finally, whatever your protein, if you're using one, might be, and this could easily be a tofu salad, don't just stack it right in the center. That's a little 80s, right? Let's go ahead and put some little bits of that salad all the way around. Everything looks a little more inviting, a little less heavy, and that's how we're going to feel after we're done eating it. So there you have it, a beautiful chicken on salad. Chicken salad on salad. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Did you like these lunch recipes? All I know is that they taste good and they will keep you moving throughout your day. Next week, I'm letting the good times roll. It's Mardi Gras time, and I'll have the food to let those times roll even better. On my menu, a fried green tomato po' boy, a shrimp and sausage gumbo, and to finish off, bananas Foster's. So laissez les bons temps rouler. Next week on SoFlo Taste. Now let's check in with my friend Elena Capra from SoFlo Home Project. Good morning, Elena. What are you doing next on SoFlo Home Project?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. Did you know that creating a beautifully manicured yard is the first step towards achieving great curb appeal? Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we take a look at some great landscaping tips with our very special guest.
Thanks, Elena. Landscaping is so important here in SoFlo. I need some help with that. So, Taste Buds, thanks for spending another Saturday morning with me. I love sharing our time. Please be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated. And I'll see y'all here next week. Goodbye and good taste.